Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video on this channel. I'm Szabi from CodeRevolution. So today I will make a tutorial video for the Gryphon SEO Tools plugin, because this plugin has an older tutorial video but which does not talk about the optimal plugin settings. And today I want to talk about optimal plugin settings and how you can optimize your auto blogs for SEO using this plugin. So it is linked in this video's description. If you want to check it or you haven't had the chance to grab it until now, you can do it in this video's description link. So now let me jump straight into this video and explain how the plugin can be configured for optimal results. So if you click on the plugin after you install it, you will go to the main settings of it, enable plugin or disable plugin radio boxes here. Be sure to have the enable plugin selected, and there are some info here, and you can restore the default settings of the plugin if you messed up something. And here are two useful links. You can check the performance score of your site from Google Developers Console tool, and you can check HTML validity of your page from validator w3.org. So these are some tools which are useful for SEO to have them at good results. And now we go to page title settings. Here you will see custom homepage title. You can set a custom homepage title for SEO purposes. You can leave this at your default title for your WordPress site, but you might also want to change this if you want to customize this. But usually the title should be the same as the site title. You can add a separator also between the title and the thing that will be displayed after the title, the additional title, and the page title shown after each post title should be the same as the homepage title. Also, you can add some homepage description. You can add here a larger amount of text just to be sure that you describe your homepage in detail. You can also check this checkbox to show description meta tag for the results and the description in the homepage. So this is for SEO purposes. This is added to the HTML content of the site. Now we can go to redirect settings. If you want to enable the extended 404 nearest match functionality, you can check this checkbox. This is more like for visitors than for SEO. So when visitors enter manually the URL of a page in the browser and they don't get a letter right, then the plugin will automatically tell that, hey, this guy did not enter the URL correctly, and let me guess what he would have wanted to enter in the URL bar of his browser, and the plugin will attempt to redirect the visitor and not show him the 404 page not found content, but it will try to automatically guess the right page where he would have wanted to go. So this is good to have for visitors. Also, if you want to enable the 404 page not found redirect, you can do this here, and the plugin will redirect to this link that you set here. You can enable the HTTP redirect to force HTTPS, for example, but keep in mind, don't use this if you already forced HTTPS, because it will break your site. So if you have Cloudflare and you already redirect traffic to HTTPS, be sure to not use this. Also, you can select www or without www redirect for your site. I recommend that you don't use these if you don't need them. So you can also enable attachment page redirect to redirect the attachment pages to their parents, but this is also optional, and bad bot blocker to ban bot traffic from your site, which is categorized as bad bots. Also, redirection rule manager, you can set up redirection rules, but these are optional. So keep in mind the redirection settings page is fully optional. You can leave it disabled and you can still achieve great SEO results. They are only for visitor convenience, or if you want to set up some redirection rules or benefit of these nice features from here. Now we can go to Facebook meta text page. Here we can enable or disable the Facebook functionality of the plugin. You can add here a Facebook app ID to get all functionality from Facebook tags. You can register for an app here and get the app ID from the Facebook developer console from here. Here I have 7 apps and I will be able to get my app IDs from here. So this is the app ID. Simply copy it and paste it here in the Facebook app ID page and you will be good for this. If you don't have apps, be sure to create an app using this green button from here. Facebook admin ID, you can find your user ID from Facebook. If you click on this page, enter your profile URL and this page will give you a number which will be your Facebook ID, your profile ID. This should be entered here. Leave all checkboxes checked and select homepage type website, or if you have a blog then switch it to blog, because all these meta tags will be useful for Facebook. Show article section is also useful. You can add a publisher page link. You can add your Facebook profile URL here. Author page link, you can also add your Facebook profile URL here. Include description, image meta tag, Facebook page image link. This is the default image URL for posts which don't have images. So if you want to add a default URL for images for posts which don't have an image, you can add the image URL here and this will act like a featured image on Facebook when people share your stuff on Facebook. If a post does not have a featured image, this image will be set as the Facebook sharing image. Also, if you want to track your performance on Facebook, you can create a pixel from Facebook and add the code, the JavaScript code from here. You can get the pixel from here, but this is optional only if you want to track page visits and other stuff on Facebook. Also for Twitter username, this can be enter name with or without the @ symbol on Twitter. Creator name, which you want to assign the creator of your content. Default image link, similar to how the default image link was on Facebook, this is for Twitter. And Twitter default image description, and you can leave all these checkboxes checked. And summary card, or if you prefer larger images when people will share the Twitter post, you can select this, the summary card with large image. Common meta tags, you can add the copyright meta tag language of the page. You can add English, Spanish, Romanian, or any other page. This can be called, this can set the copyright meta tag. This is optional. You can enter here nothing and still have great results. Author abstract, if you want to enable some advanced doubling core meta tags to be added to your page, you can also check this. Or show canonical meta tag, automatically add alt tags to images. If you don't like to add the alt tags to images, this will automatically add it to the images, which is great for SEO. So I recommend you check this and save settings. Also, the plugin can automatically add title tags to images, and this will also benefit SEO. Social link settings, you can add your social profiles, Facebook, Pinterest, and so on. And this will be added also in the meta of the page, and search engines will recognize this. Webmaster validation, if you want to validate your webmaster tools from Google, Bing, Yandex, Pinterest, or any other code you want to add to the heading section of your page, you can do it by adding your codes here, but this is optional. Sitemap settings, if you have WordPress 5.5 or later, you can disable the sitemap settings because WordPress 5.5 or later WordPress versions create their own sitemaps. So this functionality is useful if you have older WordPress versions or if you want to create a custom sitemap, but usually you will not want to do this because WordPress creates a default sitemap for you. Google Sitemap Settings, if you want to add your site to Google News, then this is a great functionality as the plugin is able also to create a Google sitemap for you. So check this checkbox and add a name, language, add genres to the sitemap if you want to add genres, enable limited access to the sitemap only to subscription or registration, and you can set the path of the sitemap, but this is optional. So, but default path is this. You can also exclude categories not be added to this Google News sitemap or exclude posts by post IDs. However, if you don't want access to Google News sitemap or you don't want to add your site to Google News, you can leave this feature disabled. Miscellaneous settings, you can add no index, no follow, no ODP, and no idea to your categories, archive, pages, post, search. I recommend that you leave all these checkboxes unchecked because if you check these checkboxes, no index and no follow will hurt your SEO. So this should be used only if you know what you are doing. The remove query strings can be useful if you want to improve page performance, but this might break some functionality of your site, some CSS or JavaScript. So if you encounter issues, please uncheck this checkbox. And Google Analytics, you can add your Google Analytics tracking ID here and Google Analytics will work automatically for you. The breadcrumb settings, because the plugin can also insert breadcrumbs into your theme automatically, but many themes have breadcrumbs. So if you want breadcrumbs, you can use this feature. Otherwise, if you already have them or you don't want them, you can simply disable this and this will be inactivated. It is good thing to have for SEO, especially because the breadcrumbs will point the page and its predecessors, and search engines usually like to see this in themes. You can also edit the Htaccess and robots.txt file. Be sure to make backups of these files before you edit them, because if you break these files, your site will not function anymore. So use this feature only if you know what you are doing. So this is also optional, and the website crawler interface is a crawler to simulate how Google would parse your website if it would land the Google crawler on your website. It would parse the URL structure on your site, similar to how you will see the website crawler here crawl the links from your site. Okay, so this is the whole tutorial video for the Gryphon SEO plugin. I will leave the plugin URL in this video's description. Go ahead guys and check it if you haven't had the chance to install this auto blogging SEO tools plugin on your site. You can try it now. This is all for today. If you want to get more similar videos, subscribe to this channel, like, comment. If you want to tell anything, feel free to comment. Until next time, have a nice day. Over and out. Bye bye.